Today I'm gonna take you on a tour of one of my favorite places in Atlanta, Grant Park. And we're getting after it right now. Welcome back to Living in Atlanta, the YouTube channel designed to give you an idea of what it's like to live, work, and play in the Atlanta area. My name is Marc Brenner. I'm a realtor here in Atlanta, and I would love to hear from you. If you're thinking of moving to the area or just have any questions about Atlanta, please reach out. All my contact information is below. Don't hesitate to call me or shoot me an email. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and tap that subscribe bell to be notified every time I put out new content. Also, make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video. I've got a real treat for you in the end. I toured a couple amazing homes that you're not going to want to miss. So today I'm taking you on a tour of one of my favorite places in Atlanta, Grant Park. So first let's talk about the geography of Grant Park. So if you take a look at the map, Grant Park is situated really close to downtown Atlanta. It's just south of 20 and just east of 75-85. So you have really easy access on and off all the major interstates, which obviously is really important for any commute that you may have. And also it's super close to a lot of the most popular neighborhoods in Atlanta. So places like Reynoldstown, Cabbagetown, East Atlanta Village, Old Fourth Ward, Inman Park, Ormwood, Boulevard Heights. So you're not only in a really great neighborhood, but you're also close to a lot of the hottest neighborhoods in Atlanta. In addition, you're just minutes from downtown, like I said, and you're only minutes from Midtown and Piedmont Park. So Grant Park refers to the park that I'm standing in now and also the small community that surrounds the park itself. And to me, living here for the most of the time that I've been in Atlanta, it's always felt a little set back from the rest of the city. So obviously you're right in the heart of the city, but it's always felt a little removed, a little secluded to me, which I think is one of the best parts about it. In fact, it's only in the last few years that certain amenities have popped up that have made it feel more like other neighborhoods. So I remember when my wife and I rented here for the first time around 10 years ago, there wasn't a Kroger nearby, there weren't many restaurants nearby, there weren't any nice beer or wine shops nearby. So you had to drive a little bit if you wanted some of the more common amenities. But now a ton has popped up in the last few years. There are many more restaurants available, and there are really cool markets now, and just generally more things to do in Grant Park. So Grant Park borders the neighborhoods of Cabbagetown, Ormwood Park, Boulevard Heights, and Peoplestown, all of which are amazing neighborhoods in their own right. So Atlanta has always been known as a city in the forest, and to me Grant Park really exemplifies this. And as you can see, it's not like Piedmont Park, which is, really well landscaped and you can see for miles in most directions. So Grant Park is a lot of dense greenery and trees as you walk through it. It definitely feels like you can get lost here in certain parts, even though it's not nearly as big at Piedmont Park. But it's just a different vibe, and I really like it. It's very relaxing. It's a great place to come and read a book or just hang out, lie in a blanket and relax. So Grant Park's an extremely popular destination all year round, but especially in the summertime, you will see tons of barbecues all over the place. There are barbecue stations in various areas, a lot of family reunions, and just a lot of events in general. So everything from concerts to all kinds of different gatherings. So there are tennis courts here, there's a baseball diamond, there's a public pool for kids, so very kid-friendly park as well. And it's just got a ton of character. The Atlanta Police Department has mounted patrol that goes around mostly on the weekends, but the cops will be out on their horses, and it just adds to the character and charm of the place. So not only do you have the park itself, but you also have the Atlanta Zoo, which is basically a part of the park. It's an awesome zoo to go check out, great family activity. Every year they have Boo at the Zoo, which is a great event. And they are actually finishing a new development here in Grant Park called Gateway, which essentially is a parking deck that they have put underground for the most part, and they've covered the top with greenery, and there's going to be a large restaurant attached to it. But that's supposed to address a lot of the parking issues that go on here, because especially in the summer months, parking can get really tight. So I know there's been some controversy about them having to knock down some trees for that development, but hopefully it's net positive for the community. So there is always something going on at Grant Park. One of my favorite things on Sunday mornings is to go out, and there is a great farmers market during the warmer months on Sundays here, and it's definitely worth checking out. But you can see it's just a gorgeous place to come hang out. It's very peaceful. There's tons of beautiful trees and green spaces to come hang out. You can get a workout at one of the tennis courts, or just go for a jog around the park, which lots of people do. Or you can just hang out, do a picnic. It's very quiet and peaceful over here. So in terms of Grant Park as a neighborhood, it's obviously a very desirable place to live. It's a small, tight-knit community, and it's a gorgeous place, not only because of the park and Oakland Cemetery, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but the architecture is really special too. So Grant Park and Inman Park have one of the largest collections of remaining Victorian architecture in the city, and I'm going to give you some examples of those closer to the end of the video. So as you drive around this neighborhood, you will see a ton of gorgeous Victorian style and also smaller Queen Anne style homes. So there are a ton of really old, really gorgeous homes in this area. So a lot of your classic Grant Park homes are going to be around 100 years old, so built in the 20s. They're going to have really high ceilings. It feels very spacious. Of course, you're going to have probably your classic hardwood floors, intricate, large crown molding, and you're going to have these really large, classic southern front porches for you and your friends and your family to gather. You're also going to have a lot of intricate fence work and just intricate siding and little details on the outside of the house. Stained glass is also common as well. So some of the most expensive homes that are really mansions that border the park, or are going to be up in the $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 range. Some of the more traditional or Queen Anne style homes, they're going to start in the high 300s for a 2-bedroom home. So for most of the homes in the area, you're going to be between $400,000 and $600,000, assuming you're in Grant Park proper. It's an extremely desirable place to live. There's definitely a shortage of inventory. As soon as one of these classic Grant Park homes comes on the market, if it's priced properly, it's going to be sold within the first 5 days. Overall, it's just a great place to live. It's gorgeous. There's a ton of awesome green spaces. It's kind of set back and tucked away from the rest of the city, and there's just a little less going on. It's just got a little bit more of a quiet vibe, but at the same time, you are super close to all of the hot neighborhoods in Atlanta. Alright, so now we're in Oakland Cemetery, one of my favorite places to hang out and take a walk and just relax. So Oakland Cemetery is on the north side of Grant Park, just on the other side of Memorial Drive, and may seem a little morbid to some, or maybe you're used to hanging out in cemeteries, but Oakland Cemetery in Grant Park is an extremely popular place for Atlantans to hang out, to go on a walk, to have like a little mini picnic. It's a gorgeous setting with a ton of history. There's these cobblestone walkways, beautiful mausoleums. It's actually the site of the golfer Bobby Jones. This is where he's buried. So there are actually a ton of events that go on at Oakland Cemetery throughout the year as well. There's a wedding venue here, there is a greenhouse, there's an art gallery here. So this is actually one of my wife and I's favorite places to come on a day off. Just walk around and really relax. It's very peaceful and quiet. There's beautiful flowers and green spaces all around here. So you can see what a beautiful setting it is. Again, lots of beautiful greenery, a lot of history here. Just a great place to relax and take your mind off things. One of my favorite parts of living in the Grant Park area. So I'm actually going to give you a personal tour of two examples of homes in Grant Park. So one, a literally famous Victorian style home, the Fisher House, and I'm also going to give you a tour of more of a traditional 3-2 Queen Anne style home in Grant Park. So we're actually in the Fisher home right now. This is one of the most stunning examples of Victorian architecture in Atlanta. Julius Fisher was a famous Atlantan merchant and a contractor, and he actually had this home built for his family. All right, I hope you enjoyed that personal tour of Grant Park, one of my favorite neighborhoods in Atlanta. Please hit like and tap that subscribe bell to be notified every time I put out new content. And also, I would love to hear from you. If there's a video you'd like to see, comment below. And if you're thinking about moving to Atlanta and need some help, please reach out. All my contact information is below.